all the works have achieved great satisfaction because of the death of this demon. Now they are confident of their happiness, and they will always remember your auspicious incarnation in order to be free from fear. Hiranyakashipu was killed because he was worse than a snake or a scorpion, and therefore everyone was happy. Now there was no need for the Lord to be angry. The devotee can always remember the form of Narasimhadeva when they are in danger, and therefore the appearance of Narasimhadeva was not at all inauspicious. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. When during tough times, we are also recommended, we are advised to chant Narasimhadev mantra. So there are so many of them. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu, that is there. And if you are, devotees are never afraid. They are fearless. But if, we are all, it's a practice. Day by day, we are getting better and better from Kanishta to Madhyama. We have so much distance to cover. But whenever we are, for some reason, we find ourselves in danger or something, we can take shelter of Narasimhadev. So that is recommended. And then actually why this is said is, yeah, snake and scorpion. Why? Because all the saintly people, all the elevated people, they never feel happy when somebody dies because they are saintly. They don't feel happy. But in this case, they are also kind of happy. Why is that? Because some miscreants are there who cause so much disturbance to the sacrifices, and they cause so much inauspiciousness in that place. So Narasimhadevan now has appeared and everything is so auspicious. So even saintly people were happy. Why? Why? Because it says he was killed because of worse than a snake or a scorpion. So that's why everybody was actually like finally. When Kamsa died, also everybody rejoiced. They were so happy because he was not a good king. Many people were troubled by him. So it was like that. So now the Lord's appearance, though it looks so fearful, but so ghastly it looks. Actually, it is all auspicious. So now Prahlad Maharaj is requesting, so with so much innocence. See how here the image is so beautiful. He looks so scary, but you see, Prahlad Maharaj is actually, is in the safe hands. Can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
I'll read Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
My Lord, who are never conquered by anyone, I am certainly not afraid of your ferocious mouth and tongue, your eyes bright like the sun, or your frowning eyebrows. I do not fear your sharp, pinching teeth, your garland of intestines, your mane soaked with blood, or your high, wedge like ears. Nor do I fear your tumultuous roaring, which makes elephants flee to distant place, or your nails, which are meant to kill your enemies. Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna Mataji. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, a lion is very fearsome for all the animals. If it roars, all the animals run far. But for the cubs, they find, father's presence or the lioness being around, it feels very safe. For the cubs, it is not scary at all. Same way, for devotees, it is very, they feel protected. And there is another example given. If the ocean waters, like we saw tsunami, if that water comes on the, land, everybody gets scared because that means death. It can wash off so many cities and so many towns and everything and cause havoc. But same ocean, there are so many living entities. There are fish, there is shark, whatnot. All kind of water, ocean, aquatic animals live inside the big ocean. They are not scared. So it's like that. It's like fish taking the shelter of the ocean. So a devotee taking shelter of Narasimhadev is like that. He feels very happy. So that's what is the comparison given. So Prahlad Maharaj is very happy offering all these prayers to Narasimhadev. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sujata Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Oh, most powerful insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen soul. I have been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities, and therefore I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal of liberation from conditional life? Should I read this also?
I'll read.
Being in the
We can,
material,
yes,
uh,
you can read Mataji if you can. Hare Krishna. Are you
being
able
in the
to?
material world, being in the material world is certainly miserable, but certainly when one is put into the association of asuras or a stickman, it is intolerable. Intolerably, it is intolerably. So Prahlad admits that he was put into the life among the asuras because of the results of his karma. Not clear. Very good.
Yes, Mataji. So he's saying certainly when one is put into the association of asuras or atheistic men, it is intolerably so. See, material world is as it is very troublesome. The moment we step out of the house, we have to. Sometimes we see what all kind of people we met, what all situations we face every day, right? Material world only is not a happy place. And if you're among asuras and atheistic people like Hiranyakashipu, imagine he was trying to kill his own child. To what extent, right? It becomes even more intolerable. Now, Prahlad Maharaj is not blaming the Lord in this sloka. What he's saying is, I know I've been among all these asuras because of my own karma. No, devotees never blame anybody. They never say I'm the victim. Somebody did wrong to me. They try to take ownership. I must have done something wrong. Maybe I deserve more. That even Haridas Thakur, when he was beaten up in the marketplace, he was like, I need probably more punishment. I must have done something that has come back to me. But karma is like that, no? What we give out only will come back. So he's saying, because of my own karma, I was among all these asuras. But will you take me back now? Prahlad Maharaj is saying, he says in the purport. So he's saying, please call me back and I want to be in your shelter. Take me into to your lotus feet. He's so innocently telling, oh Lord, I want to be with you. Such nice prayer.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna Mataji, I'll read.
Sure.
O Great One, O Supreme Lord, because of combination with pleasing and displeasing circumstances, and because of separation from them, one is placed in a most regrettable position within heavenly or hellish planets, as if burning in a fire of lamentation. Although there are many remedies by which to get out of the miserable life, any such remedies in the material world are more miserable than the miseries themselves. Therefore, I think that the only remedy is to engage in your service. Kindly instruct me in such service. Purport: material opulence may be somewhat pleasing for the time being, but to come to that temporary pleasing condition, one must work extremely hard. When a poor man is rich, he may be better situated, but to come to that position, he had to accept many miseries. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. We have heard that saying, right? Money cannot buy happiness. So definitely we all work very hard to attain some kind of, material opulence and which is required to maintain our body and soul together. All that is required. In this world, we have to work. Even Krishna is telling Arjuna to get up and perform his duties. So that we cannot escape. But at the same time, uh, we have to be aware that, what is our ultimate goal. Prabhupada says humanity must be trained to engage in the loving service of the Lord, Krishna consciousness. There is no happiness otherwise. Krishna consciousness can actually keep us happy. Otherwise, there is nothing. So we can see so many examples of day in and day out. We can see in the news only. A 70, 75-year-old person is committing suicide. So imagine, what they are going through. Because as you grow older, become elderly, we don't know when what will happen. Because Parikshit Maharaj knew he had 7 more days to live, but not everybody knows, right? How long, 80, 90, 70, 60, 50, whatever. But at that age, as you grow older, such a person also is wants to escape this material world and imagine their mental state. So it is given very clearly that material opulence cannot really bring us happiness at all. material opulence. So to have a happy, blissful life, you have to be Krishna conscious, constantly engage in the transcendental loving service and follow the 9 processes. That will actually change everything. Once material conditions will be changed, that's given in the puppet. And all this trouble and misery, everything, the outlook changes. Like yesterday, Nirja Mataji was also sharing her experience, how things change as you start chanting. So we can see so many changes in ourselves and our surroundings and how we interact with people and how things have improved, right? So much we change. So like that, the a life of Krishna consciousness can actually help us in so many ways. That is all given in the purport. Actually, Prabhupada, in every purport, he is mentioning that it is very important for a person to become Krishna conscious. That's what is Prahlad teaching us. He was not one day he cried. He was actually telling his father, "Oh, king of demons, your mind is your greatest enemy. What you are doing is wrong." He was trying to advise his father. Usually it's the other way around. Father advises the son, but your son was trying to correct the father. He's not disturbed at all. So how did he reach that stage? You can understand how pure he was. Hare Krishna. Okay, can someone read this?
I'll read, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Oh my Lord Narasimha Deva, by engaging in your transcendental loving service in the association of devotees who are liberated souls, Hamsas, I shall become completely uncontaminated by the association of the 3 modes of material nature and be able to chant the glories of your Lordship, who are so dear to me. I shall chant your glories, following exactly in the footsteps of Lord Brahma and his disciplic succession. In this way, I shall undoubtedly be able to cross the ocean of nescience. Purport. As soon as a devotee can chant the holy name and glories of the Supreme Lord, he certainly comes to the liberated position. Attachment for glorifying the Lord by hearing and chanting the holy name and activities of the Lord. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam certainly brings one to the position where material contamination is absent. Accepting the thoughts of exalted authorities through disciplic succession is certainly much easier than the method of mental speculation. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. For this sloka, what Prabhupada is saying is all these great acharyas, they have already composed some kirtans, how they were chanting and how they were worshipping the Lord. We have to just follow in their footsteps. Because we cannot say, I'll do, now I know devotional service. I know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am going to do it my own way. That's not going to help. So we have to take shelter of the acharyas coming in the disciplic succession. So this point is very clear in the purport. He says, because acharyas themselves are free from all material contamination. They're already pure. So taking their shelter will definitely help us come out of all the entanglement. So just follow their footsteps, sing what they sing, hear their kirtans, because their kirtans are already perfect. So we have to just follow their instructions and everything will be fine. Prabhupada is written like that. So sloka number 19. Can someone read, please?
I'll only read this. Okay, Mataji, you can.
Okay.
My
Yes,
Lord
Mataji.
Narasimhadev,
Okay.
O Supreme, because of a bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglected and not cared for by you cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their child. A physician and medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient, and a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. There are there are guaranteed measures for protection. They should make vigorous propaganda to awaken the populace and raise them to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So this is what is given in the purport. So we can never be happy without the mercy of the Supreme Lord. This point is given in the purport. It's become very clear because none of the medicines or all the money and all the people around us, nothing can save us actually, it's only the mercy of the Lord. So that point is very clear. Okay, 20. Let's see who is going to read.
Can I read, Mataji?
Sure, Mataji.
My dear Lord, everyone in this material world is under the modes of material nature, being influenced by goodness, passion, and ignorance. Everyone, from the greatest personality, Lord Brahma, down to the small ant, works under the influence of these modes. Therefore, everyone in this material world is influenced by your energy. The cause for which they work, the place where they work, the time when they work, the matter due to which they work, the goal of life they have considered final, and the process for obtaining this goal, all are nothing but manifestations of your energy. Indeed, since the energy and the energetic are identical, all of them are but manifestations of you. Purport: everything that is done, whether in the higher, middle, or lower planetary systems, is due to the supervision or control of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. We see things happening around us all the time. We think this is happening, that is happening. Somebody said something, somebody did something, this person is great, he has great talent. Whatever is happening, not only here in the higher planetary system, lower planets, everything is happening under the control of the Supreme Lord. The whole of Bhagavad Gita also, when we read, we think Arjuna is fighting, he won the war, whatever. But without Krishna's, help or guidance, or his Krishna only did it. He says that in 11th chapter, all these people are already killed by me. You are just an instrument in my hand. It's like that. We have to just play our part perfectly, like how nut and bolt work in a machine. No, that analogy is also given. Like how that little parts in the machine also help the machine to function. It is like that. We just have to be part of that whole process. So that is what our role is. That's what a devotee does, just becomes the instrument in the hand of the Lord. He says, because everything is controlled by the Lord in the end. We are not independent at all. So that's the point. So next one, Hare Krishna.
I'll read Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O Lord, O Supreme Eternal, by expanding your plenary portion, you have created the subtle bodies of the living entities through the agency of your external energy, which is agitated by time. Thus, the mind entraps the living entity in unlimited varieties of desires to be fulfilled by the Vedic directions of karma, kanda, fruitive activity, and the 16 elements. Who can get free from this entanglement unless it takes shelter at your lotus feet. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कोना भाग्यवान जीवा गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाया भक्तिलता बीजा. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Prabhupada has given this in the purport. He says, the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is everywhere. And if we have a desire or if we are very fortunate, a spiritual master will appear. And however fallen we are, what happens? He will give us the Bhaktilata Bij. The Lord's representative can actually do that. He'll sow the seed in our heart, and this will fructify, and it will cultivate properly into Krishna consciousness, and gradually we elevate ourselves into the spiritual world. So that is the ultimate goal. Conclusion is we have to surrender to the Lord in Bhakti Yoga, and slowly we can actually go back to the spiritual world. And wherever we are, that is Vaikuntha. Because a person who is completely like Prabhupada, see, he was highly elevated, right? He was not ordinary. So wherever he was, Vaikuntha was there. It's like that. So wherever such a person is, that place becomes holy. So we want to go back to Godhead, but if you are very fortunate and if you are among devotees, that itself is the greatest benediction for all of us. Okay, we'll do till 25, and then the remaining we can do next week. Or if Prabhuji is back, he will continue from there. So 22, 23, 24, 25, we'll do that much. Can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. My dear Lord, O Supreme Great, you have created this material world of 16 constituents, but you are transcendental to their material qualities. In other words, these material qualities are under your full control and you are never conquered by them. Therefore, the time element is your representation. My Lord, O Supreme, no one can conquer you. As for me, however, I am being crushed by the wheel of time, and therefore I surrender fully unto you. Now kindly take me under the protection of your lotus feet. Purport: He is the controller of the material energy, whereas we, the living entities, are under its control. When we give up our constitutional position, Jivera Swarupa Haya, Krishnera Nitya Dasa. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
the sentence is Hare Krishna Mataji. Sentence is not complete. It's actually it says our constitutional position is Jivara Swarupaya Krishnera Nityadas. We are eternally the servants of the Lord. So the point of this verse is Prabhupada says this world is like a prison. Okay, and then that material world, the material energy is working now. So it's like we are all sinners, we are fallen, we are here so that we can purify ourselves. We have right now, we are not qualified to be in Vaikuntha or Goloka, anywhere out of this material creation. So it's like a criminal sitting in the going through his punishment. But the government can actually do something. If the government changes his punishment, it says, okay, this person needs to be released. He's no more a threat. Or whatever. He says, oh, by mistake he's inside. Whatever, they can actually change the rules and actually make him free again. Same way, the Lord can do that to us. If we directly take his shelter and if he decides, he can take us out of the suffering. So that's the whole point. Prabhupada says that. Because he's the controller of the material conditions also. So he can definitely help us. All we have to do is take shelter of the Lord. That's what Prahlad Maharaj did. But Prahlad Maharaj is completely pure, is on another platform only. But we have to understand the essence of how surrender is. Hare Krishna. Verse 23. We'll do 23, 24, 25. So three more. Who would like to read? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. My dear Lord, people in general want to be elevated to the higher planetary systems for a long duration of life, opulence, and enjoyment. But I have seen all of these through the activities of my father. When my father was angry and he laughed sarcastically at the demigods, they were immediately vanquished simply by seeing the movements of his eyebrows. Yet my father, who was so powerful, has now been vanquished by you within a moment. Purport: No one can maintain his body or material achievements forever. A Vaishnava can understand that nothing within this material world, not even that which is powerful, opulent, or influential, can endure. One must surrender unto the Lord to be saved from the wheel of repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Prabhupada says he's given some examples like these great politicians, great kings, so many Maharajas, Maharanis, so many people appeared and they left also. But he's given example of Hitler, Subhash Chandra Bose, and great military commanders and all those people. When they were here, they commanded respect, right? They were so popular, they were so influential and everything. But then it is all temporary. So same way, Hiranyakashipu also, he saw his own father. He controlled so much. Whenever he felt a little hot, he would just raise his eyebrows, and the temperature would, wind god, Vayudev, and everybody could adjust everything for him. They had to make him very comfortable. He didn't have. We have AC, in the house. It's like that. So you just had to. The god Devatas themselves were adjusting to his moods. So that much he controlled. But what happened? Was it eternal? The power? Nothing is eternal. He was vanquished in a second. Narasimha appeared, killed him in no time. So he's telling all that is not going to help us. We want power, we want this, we want how much money we'll accumulate, we'll make as much property as we can. But the moment the person is dead, they'll distribute all the clothes, everything. Everything is gone. He also the death will take away everything. God, Lord in the form of death will take away everything. Whatever name we are attached to, that is gone. Everything is gone. And all his items also will be cleared off. So that is life. So he understands that very nicely. So we give importance to all these things in the material world. But oh God, you are the greatest. So please help me. He's saying, he wants to take his shelter and nothing else. He doesn't want anything else. Okay, two more we'll do. Hare Krishna. Can someone read this?
My dear Lord, now I have complete experience concerning the worldly opulence, mystic power, longevity, and other material pleasures enjoyed by all living entities, from Lord Brahma down to the ant. As powerful time, you destroy them all. Therefore, because of my experience, I do not wish to possess them. My dear Lord, I request you to place me in touch with your pure devotee and let me serve him as a sincere servant. Purport: by following in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, one should gain thorough experience that all material opulence is perishable at every moment. Even this body, for which we try to acquire so many sensual pleasures, may perish at any time. The soul, however, is eternal. Na hanyate hanyamane sarire.
Sarire.
Every sarire. Every intelligent man, every intelligent man within this material world must follow Prahlad Maharaj. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So Prahlad Maharaj mood is servitorship. So see, happiness through material advancement, he is rejecting that. And there are different types of material opulence. It is given in the purport, bhukti, mukti, and siddhi. Bhukti is people want position, power. It's like, I want to become Indra, I want to become Brahma, I can control so many things if I have power. They want to go to the higher planetary systems, enjoy more. No, the greatest kind of sense gratification they can enjoy. Even in on this world, there are some places we people are like, wow, such a beautiful place. Everything is there, just a press of button, something happens, and so much comfort, and imagine in the higher planets what must be there. So they're looking for that bhukti. Mukti is, some people are so disgusted with this material advancement and this material world and all the problems, they just want to go merge with the Lord. So they have that um, desire. And siddhi is, people want some kind of special mystic powers, like these yogis, no? They have this lagima, anima, lagima, mahima, garima, yeshitva, prakamya, vashitva, prakti, all these eight siddhis. They work very hard for that. They do meditation and so much austerity to gain all these powers. And Hanuman has this. He can become smaller than the smallest. So much tiny he can become. He can become big also, and he can become light. So many. These are all special mystic powers. So some people look for that. I want this, I want that. But he says all that is waste. Prahlad Maharaj is not even looking for all that. Everybody will be punished. At the end, what will happen? Just like his father, whatever his austerity did, everything is zero now. So he says we have to come back again to the material world to suffer more. That's what will happen if these kind of desires are there. So I'm rejecting all of that. I please, guide me. I want to be with you. Again, he's asking only that. So we'll do this one and then we'll stop. Can someone read this, please? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. In this material world, every living entity desires some future happiness, which is exactly like a mirage in the desert. Where is water in the desert, or in other words, where is happiness in this material world? As for this body, what is its value? It is merely a source of various diseases. The so called philosophers, scientists, and politicians know this very well, but nonetheless, they aspire for temporary happiness. Happiness is very difficult to obtain, but because they are unable to control their senses, they run after the so called happiness of the material world and never come to the right conclusion. Purport: our desires cannot be satisfied by illusory thoughts and plans. Rather, we have to follow the instructions of Lord Krishna. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Then we shall be happy. Otherwise, in the name of happiness, we shall continue to suffer miserable conditions. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. In the purport, Prabhupada says, it seems there is a Bengali song which says, I constructed this very nice, beautiful house, and unfortunately, it caught fire or something like that. Means anything can happen, right? This whole, we make so many plans, but in the end, it will be annihilated. And this also said, the piece of land that we say, this is mine, this is my house, this is my land. See, this land existed before we were born also. After we perish also, like the body is gone, the land will still exist. For the temporary moment, we feel like, oh, I own something. We make all these plans. Everything is like a waste of time. So nobody can stop this blazing fire by pouring more ghee. The more we have more materialistic desire, the more we are burning. It is Bhava Maha Davagni, the forest fire of material existence. So it's like by becoming more and more lusty, we are getting more and more lusty only. By feeding our desires, materialistic desires, we are going to get worse and worse. So nobody can be happy in the material world actually. So there is no formula. The only formula is Krishna consciousness, where a person is completely surrendered to the Lord and is working in that consciousness. So that is very important. That's what Prabhupada is saying. If a person is not a devotee of the Lord, he has to definitely suffer. There is nothing else can be done. So I will stop the live stream. Somehow it's gone live also. I'll stop share.